Welcome back to the channel, folks. You join me today on a fresh bike. Oh yes. So after my last video's disaster with the Fazer, which actually turns out not to be that bad, it's just an oil line. I've been thinking about getting a new bike for a while, also hello, and I decided I'll just go and buy one, and our friend's got a TDM 900, so I thought, you know, that's actually a really good choice for what I want from a bike, and I've ridden it and it felt good, and yes, it's a good choice of bike for me, I think. So this is actually the first ride on it. I rode it home, but this is the first proper ride. Hopefully, I know I seem to say this every video, but hopefully you can hear me well enough, because I've made like a, you probably won't be able to see it on the video, but I've made like a DIY windshield guard thing on the bottom of the helmet, made out of good old Gorilla Tape. And I've also put a proper windsock on the microphone and a different mounting position for the camera, so I hope that looks good. And what else? Oh yeah, the microphone is now on the other side, and there doesn't feel to be as much wind coming up, so fingers crossed, all good. And that right there, you might see it on camera, you might not, is the oil patch I left with the Fazer. Hope everyone's well today. What are you doing out there in YouTube land? Shell, the old diesel, no, where's fuel? Shell fuel save. Oh, there's no V-power, is there? Just diesel. That was close. And for anyone wondering about our ride out today with all the social distancing measures, which again aren't actually a legality, they're more advice. I live with the person in front and I work with the person we'll be meeting up with, so all good. So it's definitely going to take some getting used to riding this bike. This is also a good test. Oh. Indicators are an excellent thing, thank you, eventually. Idiot. So this is also a good test for the audio with the helmet. Just open one little slat, one little movement thing, I don't know what you would call it. What a glorious day. I hope it's this nice where you are. Can't complain at the weather today anyway. No siree. Do you like the new position of the camera? Do you like the view you're getting? I don't actually know if it's perfect. I've not really done any testing with it. This is literally the first test. This is also a good audio test for at 60. So be careful on this corner, because there's gravel there that we suspect the farmer puts on the ground to slow people down going past his house, which could be extremely dangerous because you can still slip on gravel even at 5 miles an hour. So yes, new mounting position. Ooh. Does it look good or does it look shit? Leave a comment and let me know. Just thought I'd try something different, a different perspective, and also a little bit for my own benefit, because with a GoPro sitting out quite far on the side of your helmet, you do tend to feel it dragging in the wind quite a lot, which can be a little bit annoying. So I thought I'll go with this mount and just see what it's like. Definitely better for wind purposes for me as a rider, but as you as the viewer, if you can even hear this, of course, because I don't know if this mic setup's going to work properly or not. So you as the viewer, do you prefer this one or do you prefer the last video with the side mount? We've now collected Briss on his TDM 900. Just done a few little comparisons, and I think I've realised what the problem is with the exhaust mount. It's just the bracket needs moving a little bit. So that should be alright. I noticed the seller said that there's an extra little piece of metal on the exhaust bracket, and he said it was because of having panniers on, and then when we've gone to take it off, the exhaust actually fouls the brake caliper. It's obviously just the bracket that just needs a little bend putting in it and altering a little bit, so that's no big deal. Just on a nice chill ride today. Speaking of, do you like this angle? Do you like that angle as well? Do you like the GoPro facing me? I don't know how interesting it's going to look, but hey, at least you know what my helmet looks like now, eh? Wonder if we'll see any more interesting bikes out, like John on his Norman on the last ride. That was a good bike, was that? There may be a few bikes down here, you never know. Ribblehead, or some people, I think some people call it Ribble's Dale, or I don't know. Ribblehead Viaduct to me is what it is. Nice old BMW. Yeah, I thought there might be quite a few bikes today. A little audio test with the visor fully open. Obviously the first time you open your visor fully, you get hit with a fly. I can't remember if it's a 40 or 60 on this road actually. Pretty sure it's a 60, isn't it? Pretty sure. Oh, going into a 30, so I'd be careful. pop, 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 pop. Ah, I love that. Just at 3,000. Nice garage under the house. It's been a nice ride out today actually. Been good to catch up with Briss a little bit, and yeah, been very enjoyable. Get out on the fresh, new to me bike, and I'll have to go and show my nan it at some point as well. I'm sure she'll want to see it. Well, I think that'll about do it for this one, folks. It's not probably been the longest video in the world, but I thought I'd still upload it anyway and do an audio test and stuff, so if you see this, then the audio test was obviously good. There we're getting a wiggle on. And yeah, like, subscribe, comment if you feel you want to, all that good stuff. And we will see you on the next one.